Turn the NanoSight on using the switch at the back left of the instrument. Release the magnetic latch by carefully but firmly pulling towards you from the right-hand side. Release the laser block using the red lever and place it on the bench top. Remove the flow chamber, taking extra care with the tubing and especially the gasket on the underside of the chamber. This gasket is quite fragile, so if you feel like the flow chamber needs cleaning, please seek assistance. This is optical glass on the top of the laser block, so please take extra care as you would with a microscope lens. Align the flow chamber with the laser block mounting guides as well as the bolt holes. Apply even pressure across the whole flow chamber with one hand while pressing down one of the bolts and turning in order to find the threading. Once you catch the threading, do the same with the one at the opposite corner in order to even the pressure, and then do the same for the remaining two. Screw all 4 bolts in until they bottom out. When loading liquid, whether it's water for cleaning or a sample, place the laser block upright. This will help prevent bubbles from getting caught in the chamber. On startup, we first need to flush the system with millicube water. Join a 1 ml syringe of water to the tubing and steadily depress the plunger. Here you can see a bubble stuck in the chamber. To remove the bubble, pull back on the plunger at the same rate that you did depressing it. When this bubble joins up with the air, you can then push once again on the plunger, and this should hopefully push the bubble on through. Once the flow chamber is filled, you can then place the laser block into the instrument. Slide it between the 2 rails, slowly but carefully, until it reaches the back. You'll feel a spring pushing back against. Use the lever while pressing against the spring to lock the laser block in place. To observe, click the Start Camera button, adjust the camera level and focus. If by the end of 1 milliliter of water you're still seeing more than 1 particle per frame, run 1 more ml of water. Otherwise, push 1 ml of air through to clear the tubing. Load 500 microliters of your sample into a syringe and then into the flow chamber, ensuring there are no bubbles. Once the flow chamber is full, load the laser block into the instrument and place the syringe onto the pump. Adjust the position of the plunger holder by squeezing the button with your thumb and sliding along the rails until it fits. Slide the black lever over the syringe to secure it and tighten the 2 thumb screws for the plunger. To observe your sample, click Start Camera and then adjust the camera level and focus. What you see on the camera display is close to the maximum number of particles you should see, around 120 particles per frame. Any more than this and the instrument has difficulty tracking the overlapping particles. To set up the measurement protocol, click on the Standard Measurement tab and select the number of captures and the capture duration. I typically use 5 captures of 30 seconds each. Click on the ellipsis button next to the file path to define the file path and file name, and then click Create and Run Script to begin. Complete the operator name, sample description, and dilution fields, plus any additional fields you like. These will all show up in the final report. Adjust camera level and focus if necessary, and then turn on the pump by selecting the Hardware tab, choosing an infusion rate, and clicking Infuse. Typically, infusion rates range from 30 to 70. For particles 100 nanometers and smaller, start with an infusion rate of 40. For larger particles, 50 should be sufficient. If you don't see the sample advancing, you can increase the infusion rate briefly to around 200, and then once you see movement, set it back down to your desired rate. Click OK or hit Enter to begin the measurement. You'll see the same prompt at the end of every acquisition. After the last acquisition, the software will proceed to the Process tab. Before processing, select the Hardware tab and turn the pump off by clicking Stop. Select a detection threshold level with sufficient red crosses on suspected particles, but few blue crosses. Higher thresholds are more restrictive. Typical values range from 4 to 7, never below 3. Once the tracking analysis has begun, you can see the live statistics by clicking on the Analysis tab. Once the analysis is complete, an export window will pop up. Typically, just the PDF and the summary CSV file are all that are required. Open the PDF report to see the size distribution and statistics. If a warning is shown under the concentration, you can see more details in the summary file. Typically, this would be located under concentration warnings and a noise level. To proceed to the next sample, clear the sample lines by withdrawing the previous sample, and then use 1 ml of water to flush the system, followed by 1 ml of air to clear for the next. After your final sample, flush the system with 1 ml of 10% ethanol, followed by 1 ml of water, followed by air to leave the sample lines clear. Remove the flow chamber from the laser block using the same method as before by applying equal pressure on both sides, and then unscrewing one corner, then the opposite corner, and finally the last 2 bolts. Return the laser block back into the instrument and lock in place with the red lever. Place the flow chamber into the plastic tray alongside it. Once the software is closed, turn the instrument off using the switch on the left side.